Every year, roughly 20 million people across the world receive a cancer diagnosis. At a time that is already overwhelming, a patient typically learns their cancer stage, a number ranging from 1 to 4. It is natural to assume this scale is a standardized grading system. The logic seems straightforward. A 1 means doctors caught it early, and a 4 represents the most advanced cases. But consider two different patients. Both are diagnosed with the exact same biological profile, a specific combination of factors known as T3N1M0. For the first patient, this profile describes a breast cancer. Because of that location, they are assigned a stage 3 diagnosis, which carries an 85% 5-year survival rate. This visualization compares our two patients. The second patient has the exact same profile, but in the pancreas. They receive a lower stage 2 diagnosis, yet they face a much lower 15% survival rate. The patient with the lower stage number actually faces a more difficult treatment path. To understand why these numbers deviate so sharply, we have to look at the 3 specific variables doctors use to measure a cancer's behavior. Before any stage number is assigned, doctors gather evidence. They review a patient's symptoms, run blood tests, order medical scans, and take tissue biopsies. This data informs the first variable, the letter T. Standing for tumor, this typically grades the physical size of the initial cancer on its own scale of 1 to 4. Size is relative to location. A 5-centimeter tumor takes up significant real estate in the confined space of the mouth, earning a T3 label. But in the breast, that exact same size is only a T2. For other diseases, like esophageal cancer, the T variable ignores width. Instead, it measures how deeply the tumor has invaded the surrounding tissue layers. The investigation then turns to the second variable, N, for nodes. The lymphatic system acts as a network that filters waste and fights infection, but it can also serve as a transit highway for cancer cells. As these cells break off from the initial tumor and travel down this highway, the end stage climbs. A higher N indicates a greater volume of cells spreading to larger or more distant nodes. These two variables don't always align. A patient might have heavily compromised lymph nodes without doctors ever finding a clearly defined initial tumor. The final variable describes the most dangerous category of spread, M, for metastasis. This happens when diseased cells scatter and take root on distant organs. Because distant spread is significantly harder to treat, doctors traditionally approach the M variable as a simple binary. Either the cancer has spread or it hasn't. Modern medicine now treats this as a continuum. Physicians calculate the precise number of affected organs, along with the specific characteristics of those secondary tumors. This shift in perspective explains the gap we saw earlier. How does the same T3N1M0 combination result in 2 totally different stages and survival rates? This flowchart shows how that specific TNM combination is processed. These combinations are fed into rigid, organ-specific rubrics. Breast cancer data sorts the profile into one tier, while pancreatic data sorts it into another, based on generations of research into how each specific cancer behaves. Ultimately, a cancer stage number does not measure universal severity. It describes how a specific biological profile is expected to behave within a specific organ. Because this system is tied to evolving medical data, a patient's stage can actually improve from one year to the next without the cancer itself changing at all. In 2017, a patient presenting with a specific type of throat tumor would have received a stage 4 diagnosis. Looking at this timeline, if a patient presented with the exact same tumor profile just 1 year later, their diagnosis was downgraded to stage 1. The cancer didn't improve, the staging system itself did. Experts realized that this specific subset of advanced cancers responded exceptionally well to existing treatments, making them far more manageable than previously thought. New advancements in genetic testing and tumor therapies are constantly rewriting the rules for breast, prostate, and gynecological cancers. Cases that were once thought near impossible to treat now see high rates of remission. These stage numbers serve as a living map of medical progress. They evolve alongside every new discovery, providing more targeted treatments and genuine hope for the years to come.